Hello, everyone. I am Medina Ali, the president and CEO of SafePC Solutions, and I am so honored to have so many people attending this very important webinar. This is the second webinar with our series focused on cybersecurity, focused mainly on HBCUs and community colleges. We have noticed there are a lot of different other verticals, industries, particularly the financial services, that are joining us today. So thank you. And I am going to um, share my screen and get going so you all can enjoy this presentation today. Okay. I am honored to have, let me just move this over a little bit because I have so much popping up in front of me. um, Today it's going to be me and as a speaker, and we have Shavam Patel, who is our solutions engineering from InfoSec, and he is going to do the demo today. What I want to share, a lot of people have been asking, who is SafePC Solutions? Well, we are a Microsoft certified silver partner. Traditionally, we have focused on small to mid-market cloud solutions. We're an IT leader in protecting networks, improving network uptime, security. We do a lot of work around compliance, particularly as it relates to the NIST and CMMC framework. We also have dealt with a lot of data breaches. And over the last several years, we've created two divisions. First being SafePC Cloud that focuses on data backup and compliance, and then SafePC EdTech, which is when we provide training around IT and certifications as well as cybersecurity awareness. So it was very important that I have this discussion with you all today because I know that a lot of people have been, even though they want to secure and build stronger networks, but they also want to train their staff. They want to train particularly their students because they're trying to build a culture of security. Um, the other thing that I want to just also briefly talk about as well is that, as we know, training in cybersecurity, right now we have a huge skill gap in cyber. And the other great thing about cybersecurity awareness training is that it helps bridge that gap. And more importantly, I do feel HBCUs and community colleges can be leaders around cybersecurity training, particularly addressing some of the workforce development challenges that we face in the technology industry. So the other reason why we've also partnered with InfoSec, and for this particular webinar, we're not going to get a huge chance to talk about InfoSec skills. Our focus is really to talk about InfoSec Q, which is focusing on the cybersecurity awareness training, but the InfoSec skills goes more into the deeper cybersecurity certifications as well. And one of the things that some of the research that I have been doing with, particularly following a lot of what's on the mind of CISOs is that, and this is a quote from CJ Moses, he's a CISO of AWS, and he's felt no matter their role or job title is critical to operating securely. This includes everyone, he's saying, from the technical team, software, to all the way up to the customer service representatives. And earlier today, I spoke to another university because we've been speaking to several, and their focus has mainly been about um, how can we focus on how can we create that culture within our organization, but also, empowering our staff. And how do we do that? And I told them that with the InfoSec IQ, we are really focused on walking them through phishing simulations, showing them how password management works. And the beautiful thing about InfoSec IQ is that you'll be able to see automatic reporting, so you're able to then really focus on where your staff and where your students are having gaps with the knowledge around cybersecurity. So one of the big trends for 2023 is really educating everyone about security within your organization. Okay, trying to get to the next slide here. Okay. Hmm. Gosh, technology, gotta love it. Excuse me one second. I feel like everything's freezing in front of me. Shavam, are you ready to start going into the InfoSec IQ? Because I'm gonna probably um, just turn this over to you real quickly.
Yep, I absolutely am.
Okay. So I'm making you the presenter now to just right now go into InfoSec IQ, and then we'll come back to me to follow up to just kind of wrap it up. Okay.
Sounds good. Perfect. So let me go ahead and pull up my screen here. All right. So to talk about the InfoSec IQ system, I just want to go over a couple of our key features here, mainly kind of diving into our phishing simulation tool, as well as some of our security awareness training, particularly surrounding that around password management, and then also talking a bit about our reporting functionality, which can definitely help you collect those key metrics on how your program may be doing. So starting with the phishing side of things, I'll start with our phishing simulation campaigns and kind of show how easy it is to really set this up and how to actually run an effective phishing simulation program. So with our system, you are actually able to choose specific users or groups within our platform that you want to deliver these phishing emails to. That's going to be pretty easy and straightforward, whether you actually upload users to our system or keep us automatically synced with one of your Active Directories. We do try to make it a fairly simple and straightforward process.
Shavam, can you make it a little bit bigger, the
Yes,
screen? Okay, thank you. Okay. So
absolutely.
this portion right here is where you would add your learners, you would add the content that you want to do, and then also so this is how you would just set it up. And once you would really send out, I would say, the phishing email template. Am I correct, Shavam?
Yep, that is correct. We do offer a large library of our pre-built templates. I think we have over around 1,000 different templates already pre-made. So using this content section, you can just pick the ones you want to send out, and then our system will handle all the settings of sending them out randomly to users and also making sure that they're all spread out just so users all aren't receiving the same email at the same time.
Okay.
So yes, our phishing simulations are extremely easy to set up, but probably what you might be a bit more interested in is actually once the emails are going out, how we're collecting data on that. So that will be done through our reporting dashboard. I'll be collecting a nice chunk of data for everything that's going on within our simulations, both on the front of if users are actually opening up those phishing emails and maybe clicking on a link, opening attachments, or even trying to enter data into a fake login screen. Or maybe on the other side, if users are actually being good and actually recognizing those emails and actually trying to report those emails to make sure that the organization may not be susceptible to these attacks. So just taking a quick look at our reporting dashboard here, we can see a couple of metrics such as I was mentioning, those phish rates over time, as well as how that may compare to the users' report rates. We can also see how you compare to similar InfoSec users using our system with our industry report rate and phish rate to see if you're maybe above or below that curve. We'll also give you data on all the campaigns you're running within your account so you can see how your different campaigns are performing. And then my personal favorite data points, you can see which phishing templates of ours have been the most effective at actually catching your users. So it's like for this particular account, Glassdoor reviews are particularly easy to catch users off guard, or maybe users might be interested in seeing some of those reviews.
And you're going to take them to the phishing video as a part of the training?
Absolutely. So that's just covering the phishing session of our platform. So if a user actually does fall for one of our simulations, we do also make sure they're receiving that sort of instant feedback or education on what just happened. So let's say, for example, if a user falls for one of our templates, they are taken to a video or maybe a short education page for them to read through an article or some text, just informing them on exactly what went wrong and what they should be looking out for in the future in case they do get an actual phishing email in their inbox. So let's say if you just maybe show that off here real quick, just to kind of show exactly what an end user might experience. So I'll just take a look at one of our email templates here as an example. Sure, a Google Sheets shared spreadsheet. That sounds pretty believable. If I receive this in my inbox, I might be pretty enticed to click on it. Employee salary ranges, that seems pretty interesting to click on. So if I actually go ahead and click on this, this is an example of one of our fake login screens. We're of course never tracking any information that is actually put into any of these fields. But if I do actually try to log in here, I get taken to this education page just telling me, all right, I fell for this particular type of phishing attack, which our system will then record, but also make sure this user receives this training to make sure they are being educated on what happened. So those are the main pieces of our phishing platform, but phishing is only half the equation. We do want to make sure that users are being properly educated on all the different type of security topics, whether that's password management, phishing, malware, social engineering, and so on. So actually, I would like to show a couple of sample videos from our library, just kind of basically really kind of showing off the topic password management, for example. Just kind of show you an example of some of the topics we have in our library and some of the different content or series we have. So to start things off, I'm actually going to show a video that we call our Need to Know series. This is going to be our fun animated short videos, all under 5 minutes in length. That is kind of really trying to make training fun, humorous, and also to make it engaging for users.
The phrase that makes every computer user cringe. Awesome. Create your password. We all have dozens of accounts, each one requiring its own password. It's easy to understand why people use the shortest password possible, or reuse the same password for every account. These shortcuts may be convenient, but they are very risky, and they make it much more likely that you will get hacked. Let's talk about password security. When you think about creating a password, you probably think of all those complex password requirements. You must create a password that contains at least 8 letters, 1 number, 1 capital letter, a punctuation mark, and possibly hieroglyphics. I'm exaggerating, but not by much. To make it easier to remember, you might do what many people do. Use 1 password for every site you log onto. When the password expires and you have to change it, you just add another number onto the end. So why is that a problem? Let's say you use the same username and password combination for your email, your bank account, and your online shopping. You practice good security habits. You keep your password secure, so you're safe, right? Nope. One day, that online store you visit gets hacked, and millions of usernames and passwords get stolen, including yours. Hackers know that you might use the same password for different accounts. So what do? They take your credentials and immediately try logging into all your other accounts. Your social media, your bank, your work email. Once inside, they completely take over. If they get into your work email, they can compromise the entire organization. It can take years to recover from a hack, and some companies never recover at all. The good news is that guidelines for creating strong passwords are changing. Instead of using a combination of numbers and letters to create a password, today's researchers recommend using a passphrase. A passphrase is basically a sentence that's hard for someone to guess, but easier for you to remember. And the longer the passphrase is, the stronger it is. So how do you create a long, strong passphrase? First, start with a single strong word or phrase. Try to pick something that's memorable to you personally, but doesn't contain sensitive information. Your name is sensitive information. Never include your name, address, ID number, or any details about your family or life in your passphrases. Good choices include favorite sayings, funny phrases, or references to something you like. Second, add to it. Let's look at an example. Maybe you choose a phrase like gold crown. That's a good start, but we can make it stronger by making it more complex. The queen wears a gold crown is still easy to remember, but it's harder to crack. Your goal is to create something long, memorable, and difficult to guess. Now that you have your strong passphrase, it's time to protect it. You never want anyone to learn your password. Here are a few ways to help you protect your password and your whole system. First, never share your password with anyone. Phishers impersonate IT personnel or account supervisors and ask you to provide your password so they can do some maintenance or confirm your account. Or they might pretend to be a coworker who forgot their passwords and just needs to get in for a minute. Never give out your password to anyone, no matter who they say they are. Second, don't write it down. Many people keep their passwords in notebooks or pieces of paper in their work area. Writing down your password makes it easier for people to steal it. If you have to write it down, protect that paper like it's your wallet. Keep it locked up in a secure place and don't let anyone have the key. Third, never reuse passwords. If you use one password on multiple sites, that password is revealed, well, then every account using that same password is compromised. The same goes for updating your passwords. Don't just change the last number from a 1 to a 2. Think of an entirely new passphrase. And finally, follow your organization's rules for password management. You may have a dozen different accounts that you access in the course of a workday. That's a dozen different passwords to remember. Your organization may recommend using password management software or another solution. Ask your security team what the approved method of password storage is and follow their instructions. As we do more and more online, our set of passwords will continue to grow, as does our risk for exposure to hackers. But if you use long passphrases and don't reuse them across accounts, you can greatly reduce your risk and help keep your accounts safe.
Hey, Tony, what's the Wi-Fi password here again?
It's Anthony, and it's over there.
Well, that's not really a good password.
Tell me about it.
You know, at least like put a number after it or something. We did that when we set up our gym's Wi-Fi.
To be honest, that's not much better. A strong password has to be hard to guess and use words that other people won't think of.
Like what?
Well, it should be several syllables. The longer, the better. Like, saturated. And if it has a lot of numbers, symbols, and lowercase and uppercase letters, even better. But the key is actually length. A series of uncommon words will be harder to guess than most people realize. It's best to assemble a passphrase that you can remember easily, too.
I don't know. I think I need something that sticks in my mind. How about exertional rhabdomyolysis?
That should work. Yikes.
Yeah, any trainer can remember that pretty well. Should I write it down though, just in case?
Probably not. That's not usually a good idea unless you protect the written password pretty carefully. If you have a good password but write it down, you need to guard that paper like it's your wallet.
What if I email it to myself? One of the other trainers at the gym does that. He says it's safer. Or put it on the computer at the gym because we already have our client info there. What about that?
The digital storage can be broken into. If you really want to keep a copy of your password digitally, I'd suggest encrypting it or using password storage software.
Do you think someone can get into the gym computer?
Sure, especially if it's shared. Then a hacker or a competitor can sign in as you and steal information.
You mean they could get my clients' records? That tank my business. No one wants other people to know what they really weigh.
Yep.
But we still need to share info all the time. Some clients go back and forth between trainers, depending on their programs and who's on vacation. That's why we share our passwords with each other. How do we keep stuff safe without doing that?
That's a different situation. In cases like that, the safest thing is to have a shared login with a password manager. Then everyone who uses it gets the collective password from the password manager. The records for shared clients can go under the shared login, and the other clients who aren't shared will have their records kept private.
That's a good idea. We should probably change our private passwords once we get the shared login set up, right?
Definitely. It's always a good idea to change your password, just so long as the passwords are different each time. A lot of people just add an extra number to the end rather than making up and remembering a new password.
I don't do that.
I believe you. If you have to reuse passwords, though, you can make it a little safer by dividing your accounts into groups like gaming, shopping, and things like that. Then only reusing passwords within each group. And always use unique passwords for stuff like banking and work.
Can't I just threaten to punch anyone who steals my passwords?
Probably not. Which reminds me, if you find out your password has been stolen, you need to tell your supervisor right away, or your boss, or whoever's in charge of security, and change your password right away to minimize the damage. Otherwise,
Yeah, client records get leaked.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't want any of that stuff. I get enough trouble when people don't wipe down the machines or leave a mess in the locker room. Boy, that time I had a client with a really bad.
I usually never say this, but too much information.
Just messing with you, Tony.
Please don't call me Tony.
So this was just a preview of another one of our popular series, are just the facts, where things are going to be a lot more serious and straightforward, as I mentioned. So, of course, as with that, our video training content is going to be pretty similar or configured pretty similarly to as our phishing simulations, where you really just have to kind of choose who exactly you want this training to go out to, when you want them to receive it, and which training you want them to receive as well. So that is, once again, super easy and convenient to set up, and to also set up training for maybe multiple different months of the year, and also to choose exactly when you want users to be taking this training and how often they should be notified, and if you want to escalate the incompletion of training to anyone else as well. But just kind of look at the reporting side of things for the training side. So we're going to have a pretty similar dashboard here, where it's going to once again show you that training rate over time, similar to phish rate over time, but also going to give you some other data points like your on-time completion rate, how your different organizational units might be performing on training. So you can see which organization units might be performing really well on training, which ones might be struggling a bit farther behind. And then also if you're trying to follow maybe a specific sort of framework, like for example, if you're trying to follow the NIST framework for core behavior training, you can see all the topics you've recently covered. Looks like this account has particularly covered removal of media recently, but everything else might be lacking behind. We might need to go back and deliver more training on that soon. And then as we also can see, as users are taking our training, they'll also be taking some assessments to make sure they've been paying attention and also to test some of their knowledge. And our platform can also check how users have been performing, so we can see if there are any particular problem areas that users may be struggling with, Looks like my users may be struggling particularly with social engineering, so I may want to deliver some special or additional training based on that topic. So those are probably the two main dashboards you'll be looking at in our system, just kind of giving you a nice overall summary on how the data looks between everything you may be running within your program. If you are trying to get maybe a bit of a higher level view on how maybe your particular users are performing, we also do have a very nice sample risk dashboard. So to kind of explain this real quick, we do give each user in our system a risk score, which is going to be in the form of a letter grade. So of course, users who have an A are those good performing users, meaning they're completing training, not falling for phishing simulations, performing well on assessments, meaning they're most likely going to be a low risk users because they understand the dangers of everything that's happening, as well as they are not susceptible to falling for phishing emails. While users who may not be performing as well may have a lower grade like a D or an F, and you might want to deliver those users extra training just to make sure they're kind of understanding the severity of this situation. All right, but with that, Medina, that's everything I want to show off in our system. So I'd probably pass things back over to you.
Real time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint slide and just kind of talk more about some more training that we also offer, and then also really want to open this up to Q&A as well right now, because I'm sure people have questions. And Shivam, and I know you have a few people here from InfoSec. If they could kind of help you on the video thing, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So let me show my screen here real quickly. So I'm going to get back into present mode. Okay. So we just went, what Shivam just showed you was the InfoSec IQ platform. That is where we, load all the information up. We email to your staff different email phishing emails, and then we run the reporting to show the different capabilities and just kind of get an idea of where your staff is. And so, as we say, this is it's good content, but it's realistic type of simulations he showed you. Google, and then also you get automatic real-time reporting. And then let me go down to the next slide. Okay, wait a minute. It was hold on a second. Okay. So, what I want to talk about real quickly, one of the other reasons why we went ahead and partnered with InfoSec Skills is because of the instructor-led live training and partnerships with CompTIA, ISC, IAPP, ISACA, Cisco, and then through our partnership with Fortinet, we're offering NSE, which is a network system engineering security training. So what the advantage here is that in 2023, in partnership with InfoSec, we will be offering some of the boot camp training that will prepare some of your technical staff for more comprehensive certifications such as Pen Test, Security Plus, CISP, CCNA through Cisco, CISA, CSIM. And so we feel that some of these are very good for your training, for your staff, but also some of you also have expressed curriculum offering cybersecurity minor, programs offering IT certification programs through your workforce development, which is also where we feel very strongly, and that HBCUs and community colleges can do very well in those programs too. And then, as again, you all did get a chance to go through some of the demo on the email phishing. And what I'm going to do now is we have, oh, good, we have a good 30 more minutes to really dig a little deeper into some questions. I am going to try to pull up some of the videos that I have, because I definitely want you all to see that. But right now, I'm ready to open this up to questions as well. So let's see. Okay. So we don't have any questions right now. Does everyone feel like everything was addressed and everything was clear? No comments or anything? Okay. So no questions, no comments. Everyone is so quiet. I'm very surprised. Shivam, is there anything else you want to mention or share or?
Nothing else from my end.
Okay. And again, everyone, I do apologize about the video. We will send out a recording of this, and it will include the video portion. Okay, wait a minute, sorry. So this is from Shannon. The computer won't let, okay, wait a minute. Okay, can everyone hear me or? Okay, Shannon Wilson. Can you type in your question into, okay, you can hear us. Okay, great. But can you go ahead and just type your question in? Oh, okay, okay, wait a minute. I see it now. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just make this bigger. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so, okay. Okay. For training requests, just send me an email. Just email me and we will get that out to you. So I put my email address into the chat, and we will probably, Siobhan, we will probably need to do this webinar over again and get the video issue resolved. So we will probably do this again, you all, okay? And I think I'm gonna have them send it to my marketing and technical team, so it can be inside of the webinar, so we don't have to have that again. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Shannon, and we will be in touch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it really just depends on which type of cybersecurity program that you're going through. Some of them do have certifications and some of them do not. This is just to really focus on getting your staff aware of cybersecurity and really how the portal trains them on email phishing and also on password management. So that's the purpose of that. Okay. Okay, you all, we are going to wrap up and we will get you all a revised recording that will include the videos, and we're going to probably try to do this again the first of the year so we can really be a bit better prepared, because I know a lot of people want to see an actual demo of the email phishing, the password management, and how it incorporates in the training, and I don't think we came across that today. Okay. Thank you all so much, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. Happy holidays. Let me know if you need anything, and you can reach out to me via email. Thank you, everyone.